rejection! Yeah!
That is a good song.
Thank you. Today is our music day, and I just totally screwed up all the footage that we recorded for a rejection video that we were doing. So this is rejection number 2.
Rejection video numero dos.
Rafi's tips for artists because he loves you.
Hola, you amazing artist. And why do I feel so short?
Get it together, man.
I know, right? So yesterday, everything's all crooked. I just started doing courses on Skillshare, and I'm not sure if they actually accept these kind of courses, but I decided to do one on rejection and the different things that we do whenever we're facing rejection. One of the main things that I attribute to the fact that I started my art career, that I actually am doing this right now, is the fact that I got over my fear of rejection. Rejection was that thing that kept me stagnant throughout most of my life, and kept me from doing this thing that I really wanted to do. I made all kinds of excuses, and I had all kinds of reasons why I didn't jump into an art career. And mostly, to be honest with you, it had to do with just the fear of being rejected.
Yeah, for most of my life, I was like, I'm just a careful person. But the truth was, careful not to let anyone say anything about anything I'm doing.
You keep yourself outside of these situations where you're putting yourself out there just in case somebody has something negative to say about you or your artwork.
That way you only have a toe in the water if someone's like, I hate your face!
I hate your face! And the fact of the matter is that we put ourselves out there a lot. We put ourselves with these videos, we put ourselves with our creations, we put ourselves with our music. I have vlog videos where there's me singing badly. Chances are, after watching this video, there's going to be somebody who comments about, Rafi, you should really not sing anymore ever again. There are all kinds of comments that we get on here that are negative, of people rejecting our ideas, or even my face. I've had lots of people talk about how my face shouldn't be so close to the camera.
I love your face.
Well, thank you.
Oh my God. That. What would happen if someone rejected our rejection video?
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure that would rip a hole in space-time.
No, there's going to be a thumbs down. People are going to be like, eee!
Thank you, sir, for illustrating our point.
Yes, exactly.
Or madam. Thank you, sir, or madam, for illustrating our point.
The simplicity of what I say is that in order to be an artist, number one, you have to create artwork. Number two, you put your artwork out there in as many places as you possibly can, in as many ways as you possibly can, within reason for you. For a lot of closet artists, number one, that's no issue there. You are creating artwork, and that is perfect. But when it comes to the idea of putting your artwork out there, that's where it gets scary. That's where you start making excuses like, oh, well, real artists don't really put their stuff out there. I don't want to pimp myself. I don't want to prostitute myself out into the world as an artist. I'm a real, genuine artist. You need to show your art. If your art is not being shown anywhere and people are not looking at your art, then it might as well not even exist. Hey, that's fine if that's what you're happy with. But if you want to make a living as an artist, or you want to at least get the word out about who it is that you are and the things that you create, then you need to put yourself out there, whether it be on social media, whether it be festivals, cafes, whatever chances you have in order to put your artwork out there, put your artwork out there. And in order to do that, you need to put yourself out there and face rejection.
But Rafi, we don't want to talk about rejection.
Yeah, and that's the problem. In order to approach rejection in a way where, like, you could overcome rejection, I think the problem is that a lot of people, when they start thinking of the idea of being rejected, they start to panic, and it's almost like you avoid the subject whatsoever. You don't head into that idea of being rejected in your head. And a lot of people, what they do is they go the Pollyanna route, where they're like, oh, I'm not going to be rejected, it's fine, and they don't actually face that fear of rejection. In order to face the fear of rejection, in order to overcome it, you have to face the fear. The beautiful, amazing thing, especially about you creatives, is that we have a powerful imagination. And the key is using your imagination for good instead of using it for evil.
Yeah, rejection's like that which shall not be named. But I think it's at the core of reluctancy to do a lot of stuff, whether it's masquerading as like, I'm gonna look stupid, people are gonna think I'm a loser.
People think I'm a loser. The reason that I talk so passionately about this, and the reason that facing rejection is so important to me, is because I would say that 70 to 75% of my life, I was avoiding doing what I wanted to do. I was not pursuing the things that made me who I was because I was afraid of rejection, and I made up all kinds of excuses on why I really couldn't do that thing. But really, when it came down to it, it was that fear of my artwork getting rejected, or me or my ideas being rejected. The truth is that if you want to be a successful artist and you want to put yourself out there, you're going to face rejection. So the key is getting comfortable with the idea of rejection. Like I said before, you have a very powerful imagination. So how do you use that imagination, that amazing creative thing that you have in your brain jar, in order to help you face rejection? Here's the thing that I do, and I'll walk you through it step by step. And we'll start with a fear. Clee, give me a thing that you're afraid to do because you're going to be rejected.
Offer my jingle services to the general public.
Offer your jingle services to the general public.
Yeah.
So Clee's been approached by people here on YouTube about her creating jingles for them. This is pushing a button where she's afraid, and thus she is facing rejection. So give me a specific, like somebody contacts you, gonna get back to them and do that whole thing, and then you create a jingle for them. What is the best case scenario?
Best case scenario is that I get to know a little bit about them and the creative ideas flow, and I seamlessly and easily produce a jingle that they love.
And how do you feel about that? Like if that happens?
Yeah, I feel good.
Okay. And how do you think you should feel about that?
Good.
Okay. So you feel good. You think you should feel good. Now here's the question about the feel good part. Are your emotions about yourself wrapped up in that?
Yes.
Right. Yes, you will feel good, but how do you think you should feel?
Neutral, probably.
Neutral. Feel good about it, but don't have your self-esteem wrapped up in whether or not it works out really well. So that's that side. That's the good side.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the worst case scenario?
That I learn a little bit about them, let the creative juices flow, and produce a total piece of crap turd that they hate.
Right. Okay, so crap turd that they hate. And how would you feel about that?
Probably not good.
Not good.
No.
Now, how do you think you should feel? Like, how would you feel if you were empowered?
Stumbled a little bit, but I'm still good.
Right, I'm still
Yeah.
good. And how would you handle it if you were empowered?
I would just try again.
Right, you would try again.
Yeah.
Would you contact them and say, all right, well, how can I fix
would
this?
try to get their feedback. Okay, what didn't you like about it, and how can we move forward with this?
And so, like, let's say that, boom, it goes into that worst case scenario. You are your better version of you. You work with them. You create another one, and they get it, and it works out, and it's great. Best case scenario, it works out. They love it. How do you feel?
Yeah, well, good, but I guess neutral is what we're shooting for
Right.
here.
Neutral is what you're shooting for. You redo it, you send it to them, and it is craptastic, and they absolutely hate it.
They're like, I hate this one even worse than the first one. You are a horrible human being.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're a horrible human being. So how do you feel about that?
I guess hopefully neutral still.
Hopefully neutral still, right? But how would you feel, like, when you think about that?
Oh, I would be totally devastated.
Now, if you were your empowered musical self, how would you deal with that?
Hopefully I would be neutral, and hopefully I would say, you know, maybe I'm just not the right person for this job.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not what they're looking for, or we're just not a good fit.
Yeah.
That's the way that I would phrase it. Because the problem with rejection is that we always think that we're the ones that are being judged. That judge, jury, and executioner are just staring at us, and the other person is the person that has all the power. You need to qualify them as well as them qualifying you. So if it's not a good fit, you know what? We were just not a good fit for each other. It doesn't have anything to do with you being the wrong choice.
That's a better feeling place than that I'm total rubbish.
Yeah, exactly. So basically what we do there is we take a look at a scenario that we're afraid to deal with. We think about the best case scenario and how we would deal with that, and how much our self-esteem is wrapped up in the outcome being good. and making sure that we could get to a neutral place about that. Like, you don't want to put all your eggs in, like, if I get this, then I'm a great human being. You know, like, you don't want that to be, it's just a thing that you're gonna do, and it could go either way. If it goes good, awesome, that's great, I'm gonna celebrate, but it has nothing to do with me being a better human. And if it doesn't go so good, you could even say, well, awesome, cause to celebrate. Now I get to figure out how to do this even better the next time, or how to do it better the next time.
Yeah, either way, you're better for it, right?
And when you're facing any kind of rejection, the reason that it's so painful is because you've stacked all kinds of emotions behind that. And the more that you avoid doing something, the more emotions you stack on there, and the harder it becomes. Better off almost facing that rejection head on. And the best way to face the rejection head on is to do it in your imagination first. Just go through your imagination and think about the worst case scenarios, and think about the logic behind the things that you're afraid of. Most times when you're afraid of being rejected, it's this like abstract idea towards the end of it, like you're out on the street and you're destitute. Like, there are all these like really horrible outcomes.
That's true.
That are terrifying, that they're not even solidified. You're not even sure why you're so afraid of doing this thing.
In my mind, when it was just abstract, it was like, everyone's gonna hate your jingles, and then someone's gonna come and take away your keyboard, and then your iPad's gonna catch fire, and you're gonna be left destitute in the street and labeled a loser.
Yeah, all those things. All those things.
Your musical career is over!
It's over! We avoid even thinking about being rejected because we see that as a bad thing. And for the most part, we stay away from bad things. But really, it's super helpful to just go through the motions and work out the scenarios that might happen. And how would you deal with that? If you were happy and things didn't bother you, how would you deal with that? How would you deal with that as an empowered human versus somebody who is terrified of rejection? Oh no, if I get rejected, it'll be the last thing that I ever do. Don't be that person when you're imagining it in your mind. Imagine yourself as somebody who's strong and powerful and gets knocked down and gets back up. Because in order to have a successful career in anything that you want to do, you're going to get rejected. You're going to get knocked down. It's not going to be easy. And you have to be willing to face those fears and move forward, especially the fear of being rejected.
The alternative is to just live every day with the fear of rejection.
Yeah, live every day with the fear of rejection, and eventually lay on your deathbed full of regret because you didn't do those things that you wanted to do because you were too scared
That
to do
sounds
them.
horrible.
Yeah.
Also, fear of rejection is a terrible roommate.
Yes.
It eats all your cereal. Your socks go missing. It doesn't flush after it uses the bathroom.
Terrible roommate. So at this point, everything that I do is right in the face of that rejection. Like I said, chances are there's going to be a bunch of thumbs down and some negative comments on this video. People are going to say stuff about my face. People are going to say stuff about the music that I played earlier in the video.
They might even say things about my jingle.
Yeah, they might say things about Clee's jingle.
Bring it on!
Bring it on! At the end of the day, my advice to you is take a look at the mantra that you can say when it comes to rejection. When it comes to rejection, what I say is bring it on. The more rejections that I face, the more successes that I have. And that's the way I see it. And so I get excited whenever there's an opportunity to get rejected.
And I'm also pleased to say that I am moving forward with offering my jingle services, putting an outline together for our website, and getting through the fear one step at a time.
One step at a time. It's fun watching her be like, because she does that all the time.
Yeah, it sounds
All
just
the
like
time.
that,
Yeah,
too.
just-
I'm over here like, oh no!
And thank you so much for watching, you guys. I know that this video is very impromptu, and like I said, we had filmed something, but instead of me looking at the camera, I was looking down. So the entire video was me saying, hey guys, how are you doing? Blah, 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 and not actually looking at you.
Yeah, nice job, Ralphie.
Yeah, brilliant move, Ralphie. So I would love to hear any stories that you guys have about any time where you faced rejection or where you faced the fear of rejection and went and did it anyway and possibly either succeeded or got rejected. but still, it was an awesome experience. And thank you so much for watching, you guys. You guys are absolutely freaking amazing. I totally adore you. And if you like this and you want to watch more like this, you click right over here to subscribe. And that's it. Say goodbye, Clee.
I reject that idea. Good day.
Adios.